So here I am on the couch. I thought that I had a little time, so I might as well document what got me here and just kind of like a little diary to keep track of what's going on throughout the whole time of my healing process. First, I want to show you what happened. I've got a pin in my wrist. There's a small bone, crescent-shaped bone in the wrist, 1 out of 7. It's on the inside of the wrist near the thumb. Very hard to heal, so they had to go in and put a small screw into that. And I'm going to I have my soft cast on right now, but I go in 13 days. I'll probably remove the stitches and put a hard cast on. So I'll be wearing the hard cast for about 2 months, since it's a small bone, doesn't get a lot of blood flow. They want to make sure that it heals up properly, so it's 2 extra weeks versus normal of a broken bone. On the plus side, though, I have this nice little thing going on here right now. Yeah, that is, I broke the little knuckle on the fibula on the inside. If you imagine like a chicken bone, like a chicken leg bone that you eat, the part you hold on to has 2 little knuckles. I broke one of those knuckles off, so I got 2 screws put in that. And the bonus of that is that that's a nice big bone, a lot of blood flow, heals really well, and so therefore I'm only going to have that on for 4 weeks. So my left side's pretty gimpy at the moment. I actually have a photo of what it looks like. Hopefully you can see that. Yep, I got 2 really nice, looks like 3-inch long countersunk, hopefully titanium screws in there, so I can say I got titanium in me now. So you might be asking yourself, how did I get here? Well, being my normal self, I was out last Saturday. I went riding dirt bikes with Phil, my buddy Phil Tesovic, and we were on a trail and cruising along at a good rate of speed. I noticed that all of a sudden Phil slammed his brakes on, so I slammed mine on. And as I did that, I saw an oncoming motorcycle, blue Yamaha, and they hit handlebars pretty good to start with. And Phil went flying off the trail. And as they collided with handlebars, it turned his handlebars towards me, which I was following close enough to stay out of the dust, and headed straight for me. So I was on the front brake, on the rear brake. I probably slid the rear out just a little bit, just to get, try stopping even harder. And his front wheel collided with basically where my 2-stroke pipe was, so the beginning of the frame right after the tire. And that pretty much stopped me immediately. It also careened into my ankle and my wrist, so obviously that's why my left side of my body's all jacked up. When the collision happened, I immediately stopped. Obviously, the impact or the force of the stop sent me into the front handlebars, and my thighs hit the handlebars, got raked over the handlebars, flipped over, and then landed on the ground. When I hit the handlebars, there was enough force to bring the bike all the way over at the same time. So as soon as I hit the ground, the first thing I did was to kind of check my legs and make sure that, first off, both my femurs were okay because of the impact with the handlebars, and then also my tib fib. I pretty much knew something was up with my ankle immediately. Right at impact, I could feel, it got hurt, and then also my wrist at the same time. For obvious reasons, that was the side that the main impact was on. So my bike, where I'm laying on the ground there, I'm able to look around. There's a cloud of dust. Another gentleman comes up, one of the guys that was with the other guy. There was a group of three of them. I saw him pull up, and I was able to look around just a little bit. I saw the other gentleman that I collided with, his bike laying on the other side of the trail, and him about 20 feet, 30 feet further on from his bike. And his motorcycle, because of the way he impacted me, his front tire just folded right up underneath his bike and he flew off. Unfortunately, he did receive a pretty severe puncture wound to his foot. That looks like my foot peg punctured his boot and his foot, so he received a broken foot along with a really, really bad gash. And then also, I think my bark buster hit his elbow, and his elbow is pretty jacked up. It's not broken, but he had forwarded off some pictures onto us, and they does not look good whatsoever. Even though I had to get some hardware put into my body, I think I probably fared a little better than he did. You know, I'm going to unfortunately be out on short-term disability for the next 3 months, but I don't think I'm not in as much pain as he is by the looks of it. So actually, I forgot to mention that today is May 13th, the accident, which is a Thursday. The accident happened on May 8th, this last Saturday, so it happened about 2 o'clock. Luckily for us, we were only about 100 yards away from the road, so we devised a plan to the two gentlemen that were with the other group. While the injured guy lay there, they went back to go get their truck. Phil went and scouted out the best way to get us to the road, and luckily it wasn't too far. So after getting my bike, Phil was able to roll my bike to the road. Phil picked me up on his bike and rode me out to the road. And then luckily we had someone with like a razor come by and pick the other gentleman up. So Phil, I thought it would be a good idea. Phil came up with the idea to just go ahead and go back and get the truck, and I agreed that that was a smart idea. So Phil went and got the truck. He was about 20 minutes behind the other group. We got everything loaded up. It was really nice because there were some other riders out there that, sympathized or empathized with us, and were able to get us some sports drinks to help us cool off and, just make sure that we're doing okay. And funny enough, it happened to be my dad's dentist. So that was pretty funny. He knew my mom and dad.